Here we have a 2026 GMC Yukon XL. This one comes in the Denali trim level. Volcanic red tint coat is the paint. And then we have the light shale and teak leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine that's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights and LED fog lights. The lights don't dance like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But love the big, bold Denali grille. This volcanic red tint coat is a really sweet color on these. I really like it. Now these are optionals. We come around to the wheels. These are going to be 22-inch aluminum. Like that design. We get passive keyless entry on all four doors. To the door panel here, power door lock controls, memory seat functions, one-touch up and down windows on the front, express down on the back, power folding side mirrors with blind spot monitors, and then we do get the rear window lockout there. 10-speaker Bose sound system. Now we have partial four-wheel drive. We don't have low, but we have 4 high, which is pretty much what you need most of the time. And then we can go between the drive modes here. So we get normal, sport, off-road, tow haul, headlamp controls, auto park assist, auto stop toggle, parking brake, hood release there, power tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's the power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar support. Now I want to give a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Yukon XL today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But having the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, there's a space there, and I can actually scoot it back a little bit more, so even better. So pretty impressive. Seat back pockets are on both sides. We have our rear AC controls here. We can control fan speed, temperature, the mode there, 3-stage heated seats, USB-C ports, and then we do have a 3-prong household plug-in down below. Bottle holders. There's a view of the front from back here. LED reading lights throughout, and there's the third row. We get a USB-C charge port and a bottle holder on either side there. And then I like in the XLs, these in the Tahoes and the Escalades in the third row, they're a little closer to the front, but where this has the longer body, it's in the back, so it's not even impeding on your passengers so much if you want to hang that stuff behind the third row, which is pretty cool. Fuel filler there. And then as we come around to the back end, full LED tail lights. We get the quad tip exhaust. There's a view of the spare if you look closely. And then the tow receiver's right there if you want to hook up your tow kit there. We get a power lift gate. So opening that, you can see there's tons of room behind the third row. Top tethers are integrated on the back of the seats themselves. Storage compartment. 3-prong household plug-in. Power releases, and then we can power fold the third row as well. And then as we come around to the rear passenger seat, we can use this to move the seat forward and back, and then we can hit this once to fold, hit it a second time, and it'll tumble. Now, I think I hit something else on accident, but lower anchors are right there for the car seats if you need that. And then our power front passenger seat with 4-way power lumbar support. It's a nice touch. We get these side pockets on both sides, lockable glove compartment right there. Really like the trim there. And that feels like real wood grain, so that's nice. Now I'm going to show you all the window sticker. You all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything. And I apologize for any wind noise that might come through. It is freezing out here. $91,265 is the sticker price, and those 22s are a $2,000 option. That red tint coat is $645. So you can get one of these below $90,000 if you want. If you don't need the paint or the wheels, really the wheels will get you below it if you just still like the paint, which I do. Back around to the front. There's that 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. And before we hop in, I'm just gonna show off the blinkers. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Over here to the screen, we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. With this Google Assistant system, we also have access to Google Maps as well as Google News. Your settings, you can go in here, change your team driver, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive settings in there. And then if you go into the system settings down below, you can change your language here and then your units of measurement down below. Wi-Fi hotspot, again, the Google Maps, the vehicle status. You can see the tire pressure monitors, the air filter live. You can go into these sub menus here, or you can click on the animation itself and see certain things there. Dual zone automatic climate controls. We have it for the rear as well. So you can have these buttons down below. It's also touchscreen that you can use, which is pretty neat. And then 3-stage heated cooled seats up here too. Then you have a shortcut here to get to the child safety locks, the universal home remote, or the heads-up display. And I like that you also have a shortcut for the settings as well if you don't want to be on this home page. Little storage tray up there. And down here, wireless charging pad with the USB-C, USB-A, bottle holders. You can stow that. And then you have your center console cubby space. Have a little hideaway underneath as well. Move that back. Now you can get access to that tray. Now that button is right here, and then you also have the controls for the lift gate and the third row that you can fold. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you. You turn the steering wheel, forward camera, curbside. And there's a look at the back seat from up here. Your hazards right there. Vanity mirror. And back up front, blinkers, wipers, rear wipers with the fluid, front fluid. And then your shifters over here on the right side. So hit the brake, pull for neutral, pulling up for reverse, pulling down for drive. While in drive, you can activate the low mode and then use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel to go through the gears of the limiter. And you can see what gear you're in that bottom right-hand corner of the gauge cluster. Press P for park. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can go through our track list, radio station presets. Behind on the right side, we can go through volume up, down. We have the adaptive cruise control, so we can turn that on. Hold this X button to go between adaptive and regular. And then when you're in adaptive, you can adjust the gap for that as well as the forward collision alert by pushing this button down, then set your speed there. Heated steering wheel toggle, voice recognition, audio sources, we can scroll through those. And then mute phone. And then this will go through the gauge faces. And then up in front of me, there is the heads-up display. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 GMC Yukon XL Denali out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Yukon XL Denali, very strong V8. The 6.2 definitely puts in work. Great for towing, great for just driving around town. It's relatively fast. Thirsty, but not a huge deal. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit of space and see if we can give it a good pull getting on the interstate here. Not going to floor it, but going to give it a bit because this has a few miles on it. Here we go. Yeah, that's gnarly. So I mean, a pretty quick SUV. I want to give another big thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Yukon XL today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But very strong V8, and of course as we start to get going here, we have magnetic ride control, and this just rides really nicely down the interstate. Really relaxing, not hearing a lot of road noise, hearing a little bit of wind noise because it's so windy outside, but the sound acoustics in here are actually great. The insulation is keeping the wind noise out very nicely. Now, this is not cheap. It's relatively expensive for the money, but you know, it's an XL, it's a Denali, so it's about what you'd expect to pay for something like this if you're comparing it to a Mercedes or a Lincoln Navigator, even an Infiniti. You're gonna pay a lot of money for something like this. And that's how it goes for the luxury amenities, the powertrain, the footprint, all of that. But I really like how GM put this together. It's very spacious, very powerful, and very ahead of the curve, I think, in terms of the technology. Screen looks great. I like how they put the shifter back on the column. At first I wasn't feeling that, but now that it's there, I'm like, you know what, this ain't too bad. The heated steering wheel, especially on a day like today, is coming in handy. We don't have 4-low, but we have 4-wheel drive here. So if you need to go to work while it's snowing, you can do that. Can't necessarily get you out of deep ruts or anything like that, but something like this, you're probably not going to have it sitting out getting covered in snow, and you're probably not going to be trying to climb mountains with it. So if you need it, it's there. But I mean, it's a solid SUV, I think. I think for the money, to have a Denali, to have all that you get here. Now, personally, I feel like for this amount of money, you could probably get it if you took off these wheels. I would want to have my rear camera mirror and my panoramic sunroof. But that one's not equipped on here. I'm assuming it's an optional package. I'm sure it is, that you can add, take away the wheels. Even the red, if you know, black is okay with you, and you can get a few more features for the same money. But what makes this Yukon XL pop in particular is that volcanic red and these 22-inch wheels. So But I mean, it's a Yukon XL Denali. It doesn't disappoint, except the price does for me. But again, it's 2025, everything's super expensive. So all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 GMC Yukon XL in the Denali trim level.